And our runners are off. Of course, starting in Super Metroid so that we can map our buttons across. And this time around, there are two checks available to them due to the hard mode logic. We have the vanilla morph ball spot and the energy tank in the roof. Ragna's choosing to go down and check those two items, whereas Asda is going to take their quick dip into Link to the Past just to see a red rupee on the island. And we have a first sword in the Sanctuary chest. Meanwhile, we have Ozzy heading up towards the uncle, and we have a vanilla morph ball check from Solsky and Racken. Just a piece of heart in that ceiling energy tank. So there's nothing much of importance in Super Metroid, so they're just going to reset, get back to the ship, and get into Link to the Past as soon as possible.
Hello everyone, Sub-Zero here. Technical difficulties, but I made it.
Hey Zip, how are you today, buddy?
I'm pretty good.
That looked like just super missiles on the lumberjack, so possibility of Aga slightly diminished. There may, however, be the possibility that it may be our only access into Dark World. We'll just have to wait and see, depending on how the rest of the seeds go.
So far we found Sword.
Yeah, so Sword was in the Sanctuary chest.
Nothing else for progression, it seems.
Now, Rakinus and Solsky took a quick dive into Super Metroid just to do the two checks that were originally there. They didn't find anything of importance, so they're a little bit behind in Link to the Past, but they have that now.
Looks like we got a heart container. A little help is always good. Just a heart container. Piece of heart from Uncle. Uncle's not very hopeful today. Looks like we're getting lots of love today.
Yeah, Cagwell not holding anything too important.
So many pieces of heart in full heart containers. Looks like everybody's been to the sanctuary now.
As they're checking Blind's basement just to get some missiles and some power bombs. We're always looking for a pack of those, but most importantly, we do need our morph ball to be able to use them.
Yeah, a power bomb will help them get around Super Metroid. Let's see what Kakariko Village has for us. Ooh, the blue boomerang. Nothing else too exciting. It's going to be one of those races where we get progression items late in the game.
And thanks to Ozzy, we are going to see those bombable locations in Kakariko that Astor unfortunately doesn't have bombs to be able to have checked, but so far he's only missed an energy tank, so nothing too important. Well, that looked like a lamp at the race game, though. You're definitely going to need a bomb for that wall. just missiles in the back of well as well. So nothing too much in Kakariko. The lamp, our runners are very good at what they do. They can handle dark rims. So it'd be interesting to see if they actually take the time to go pick it up, or really not. They'll just pass right by it and maybe pick it up.
I love how
Well,
the saturation on Reckness's screen is more saturated than the others. Makes the colors stick out. My goodness, so many pieces of heart this race.
some nice healthy seed. We've got six full heart containers. We've got blue mail on the ball merchant if you happen to have the 100 rupees.
Looks like Astor's picking up his lamp. So far, the race and the sanctuary have been the most useful things we've found so far, with the sword and the lamp. So now we can fight and we can see in the dark. Well, Astor can anyway. Looks like Aussie is headed for his lamp too.
We get Astor going into the front of Escape. Definitely something you wanna look at picking up, especially the second you get a weapon, because trying to escape with bombs is quite frustrating.
Yeah.
Astor unfortunately finding a key in the front of Escape, so that means whatever's in Dark Cross could be the map, or it could actually be an item. Thankfully, they do have lamp, so they don't have to worry about navigating it dark, but something you don't really want to see.
Yeah.
You could also take advantage of it and just full clear the sewers right to the very back of get what's in the sanctuary. And Astor finding high jump boots inside the
Ooh,
front of Escape.
that'll help
Definitely
out
something
in
you want to
Super
see.
Metroid.
You definitely want to see high jump before Speed Booster, because then Speed Booster doesn't eat your jumping. A problem that occurs far too often is you tend to find Speed Booster without high jump.
Yeah.
So as there finishes up Escape, we've got Aussie down, heading towards the mini Moldorm.
Another full art container. Astor taking a quick death to get out of there quickly.
Unfortunately, not very quick when you have 7 hearts, but that looks like a fire rod inside mini Moldorm Cave, followed by Spring Ball, Supers, another full heart container, and Magic Cape.
I couldn't tell
We
if
are
that was the fire rod or the ice rod. That was a fire rod.
What is slightly worrying about that is we can now do Aga. We are now in logic to complete Aga.
Oh, but do we want to?
Dark Cross, unfortunately, only holding normal missiles.
I didn't catch what item that was in the library. Reckness got his blue mail. It's a little added defense.
Dark Cross just had missiles, I'm afraid, chat. Nothing too good, considering there's an early lamp.
This race so far has been so stingy with the items.
Oh, is he looking at the back of Shahashala? See what he's hiding in his closet? Astor looks to be following and getting their Southern High Road checks done.
Was that the Bombos that Aussie found?
It did seem like bombos. It
And
also
a
looked like there was a
sword
second
upgrade.
sword.
So Aussie's got his Master Sword now.
This seed is partly screaming, "Go to Aga, go to Aga."
Oh dear. Solsky got his Master Sword.
Aussie's taking their quick dive into Eastern Palace. We'll get a couple of new checks out there. Astor looks to be heading towards Mini Mode on Cape, so we'll get another chance to look at that rod. Chat and our tracker seem to think it was Ice Rod, so if it's wrong, I do apologise. Sometimes it's quite hard to see the colours on
Yeah,
small screens.
I couldn't quite tell if it was Ice Rod or Fire Rod. It's a little hard to tell. And the magic cape for Astor.
Yeah, and a secondary look at Astor screen, that definitely looked like an Ice Rod.
Yeah. Chump change in the mud. $50 rubies.
Bracken is choosing to make the quick detour over to a Guinness Cave to see what is in that one-off check in desert.
Astor checking Ice Cave. Got an energy bar for Super Metroid.
We do have grapple inside the big chest on Eastern Palace. The rest of the checks, however, just giving it the normal map, compass, and big key. So Armos definitely has an item, and also our vanilla key also has one.
Ooh,
And
gloves for
Arachnus
Reckness.
finding a glove. Now
Gloves.
that is a play to go off and check that.
That'll help us get to Dark World, maybe.
It is one of our 3 components for Dark World. We either need a nulled glove, followed by the Moon Pearl, or we need our hammer, followed by a Moon Pearl. He does, however, now have logical access up to Death Mountain. So it's a good play to check what's in Norfair a little bit for Super Metroid. But also, you can get that save and quit location. Saves a lot of time if you're ever having to traverse back up and down the mountain. As you're finding Moon Pearl at the Hobo, so they are indeed flipper locked. So our flippers must be somewhere in the light world, or if they find something in Super Metroid to give them access to maneuver around there.
Looks like Reckness is guiding the old man through the cave. Since he's got his lamp, it's an easy journey. Let's see what the old man has for us. Just some red ruby.
So we do have a
Astor's
map
checking
check.
out the waterfall.
Astor taking advantage of his newfound Moon Pearl to do the walk on water glitch. Allows them to get these 2 checks out of the way. There's our other armor upgrade, so we already have access to red mail.
We're looking at A lot of health and high defense in this run.
Definitely the safety seed. So let's question if it makes them do anything particularly dangerous now. And we did see the Desert Palace as the red pendant, and Tower of Hera as one of our 5-6 crystals to get to the big red bomb. And that was a mirror inside Spectacle Rock.
Looks like Aussie got his high jump boots.
So that mirror will allow Arcanus to finish exploring Death Mountain. He'll be able to get up towards the Tower of Hera and be able to check out what maybe the snake is holding.
Ooh, the mirror. Reckness got his mirror. Yet another piece of the puzzle for Dark World.
Ragna's taking that fairy on a date, dragging it around with the boomerang.
Aster getting his Master Sword. Solsky found his red cape. What icon was that? What icon was that near the ice rod? I couldn't quite make out that item. I was confusing it with gravity. Maybe it was the bombs?
So we do have Turtle Rock as a green pendant. Ooh. I don't know how I feel about Turtle Rock being a green pendant. There have been numerous occasions where a pendant Turtle Rock usually holds something important. And you just refuse to go in there every time.
I swear, Turtle Rock's always got something good.
Looks like we'll be scaling Tower of Hera before we go and check out the basement. But we do have our lap, so it's not too much, but hopefully it's just a key down the basement and then our runners don't have to sit through that relatively annoying tower room. So, Screw, looking towards their glove upgrade from Agina?
Looks like Aussie's going into Super Metroid.
Aussie did choose to skip out checking those 2 checks earlier, so maybe getting a bit troubled by the seed, not finding anything of importance in Link to the Past, so just going to go do this to ease their mind, sort of.
Grapple beam in the Hera. Big chest. I'm gonna laugh if Aussie finds more fall down here.
Arcanus and Solsky have already checked our 2 checks down here. They are not of importance.
Solsky got his power glove.
Yeah, currently our runners are basically double backing over each other just to get some checks out of the way. Arcanus has been the only one doing something that's new, which is checking out what our trolley snake has for us.
There were just some regular missiles on the Morphball location. Nothing special.
Yeah, it's just a piece of heart up there.
Blah. Aussie's journey was in vain.
Arcanus taking one of many falls to Trolldar. Not a nice fight with the fighter sword.
Oh, Trolldorm. Knocking off player after player. Looks like Aster's checking out Super Metroid too. Sadly for him, he's not going to find much down there. Reckness taking out Moldorm. The jerk.
Yeah, finding just a piece of heart on him, but at least that's one of our 7 crystals on the way. Out over and done with. But yes, the basement does in fact contain its key, so it is locking itself. So Racken is choosing to jump in and check this one check. Another sword, so that's 3 swords. What is this free seed we have?
This seed is all about defense and offense for Zelda 3.
Taking a quick dive in there to see what the Crocodile missile escape contains. It's just a piece of heart. So maybe not seeing Crocomire. Ozzy looks to take the quick play up through Aghanim's tower.
We're going to get all the health and all the offense for this Zelda 3 race.
So the true question we do have is, where are our flippers? Because we know that the Moon Pearl is locked behind them.
Where are progression items of any sort? This race is being so stingy.
So she's climbing the mountain and hopefully getting their mirror. And then we'll likely head into Tower of Hell.
So many races usually give you like a bunch of progression items all at once and then hold out on one item that's necessary for progression. But this race is the total opposite.
I can't complain. My last seed that I ran of this had all 3 of our access to Dark World inside Trahashula's closet. I had gloves, hammer, and Moon Pearl in those 3 checks. I was so raging that I left it for so long. Rackiness getting some money from our hula hen room.
Gotta love that money glitch. Ozzy's visiting Aghanim.
Yeah, definitely choosing to put off Zora until after you're in the Dark World is really good because of the catfish. Really out of the way. It's only 1 check, but when you get to combine it with the mirror, it's so much more easier.
Boots.
It is the red boomerang on the pyramid. So Aster will be able to take advantage of this because he does already have the Moon Pearl, but he won't be able to check much because I don't believe he's picked up his glove from McGinnis Cave.
You show that evil wizard who's boss Asder. Solski checking out Super Metroid. Just another piece of heart. Been getting a lot of those lately.
Aussie is finally making their play to get their gloves for Magina. Also checking out that Desert Ledge to find out that there's a bottle there.
Solski got his tempered sword.
So we do have to remember that anything Asder checks inside the Dark Worlds, except from Pyramid Ledge, is actually out of logic because he shouldn't have his Moon Pearl yet, as it is locked behind their flippers. So Meyer looked to be our other half of our 5-6 combo, and with Thieves Town being another pendant. So honestly, not the nicest of pedestal seats if this turns out to be one. Yeah, Agnes choosing to farm up some rupees, so he's very likely going to go and check out Zora next.
I hope Zora pays off for him.
Meanwhile, Asder is looking to take a dive into Palace of Darkness. We'll see if it's bolt locked, depending on what is in this first chest on the left. Meanwhile, Ozzy is up in Death Mountain, so he'll be able to get his mirror. And Solski is going to finish off the front of Escape, so they'll be getting their high jump boots soon enough.
Solski got his high jump boots.
Yeah, Ozzy must have his glove because it was the only way to get access to Death Mountain.
Yeah, I believe Aussie picked up his glove.
So with Pawn not being bow locked, there's always a chance we can find the bow actually in here.
So that was the spring ball jump that Reckness found in the cave. And everyone
Yes,
else who went in there.
Yeah, that was the spring ball item.
I couldn't quite make out the icon the first time I saw it.
Definitely a very useful item because it saves you having to waste bombs on doing simple wee jumps through corridors. Especially when the only bombs we have are power bombs because we still don't know where our Mark Ball bombs are. Because we still don't even know where our Mark Ball is.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out where that morph ball is hiding. All my guesses as to where it was have already been checked. And they weren't there.
I think one of the last things we actually have in Logic is actually Zora.
Yeah, I'm hoping Zora pays off. It'll be the first time he ever gives anything useful. It always feels like a 50-50 chance.
So Rakinus will take advantage of this and find his moon pearl at Hobo before going up towards King Zora and seeing what he's selling us.
Ah, Solsky got grabbed. And Rekness gets his moon pearl.
Solskjaer is indeed taking a very big risk with this play because this is a very, very out of the way location to check.
At least he's got high jump boots to make it less trouble.
Solskjaer making that red tower look so easy.
Yeah, it always amazes me when somebody gets up there without the ice beam and space jump and all the other useful items. Screw attack.
Oh, just a
another
piece of
heart
heart.
piece. Too much love
As-
in this seed.
As they're also not finding very much in Palace of Darkness, so had to bail out. Rakinus just checking out their waterfall checks. So they'll be up to Red Mill. And then we'll be heading into Zor's domain to check what our king is selling us for a measly 500 rupees. Strangely enough, however, there has been very little money in this seed.
I guess they don't want you to pay off Zora. Because he's hiding the morph ball. At least we hope.
What sort of progression will you have for us, King Zora?
Here we go.
Speed booster.
Boots. Awesome. Gotta go fast.
So that will give us access to just a couple more checks in Super Metroid, but as it stands, they are the only things left to us to check.
I would say check waterway, but we can't get the waterway because we don't have the morph ball to bomb it open. At least we can run through a few walls.
So Terminator just has a piece of heart for us. Ozzy is also looking... He's already heading up Red Tower as well.
Just another heart piece in Terminator.
Ozzy is about to be disappointed when he discovers his heart piece.
I can't wait to see what Rekness finds down here. Going to Brimstar.
Thankfully, he doesn't have to worry about vanilla using a mock trick because we do have the speed booster. That's a blockade.
I love the music here in Brimstar. Such a good beat.
Flippers!
The Cane of Brenna. Down in Brimstar.
So our Brinstar reserve is flippers. So at least that puts our moon peril back in check, but it still doesn't open up a lot.
Well, at least now we can swim.
What else can we find inside the big pink? Ah, there's our morph ball.
Thank goodness somebody found it.
So now we can check waterway.
They just had to put the morph ball as far back as they could without having to use bombs or something to get to it.
Unfortunately, that could have been any item as well, because if that wasn't morph ball trying it, you would have to take the long way to get out of Super Metroid to then check whatever item it could have been. So thankfully it was. And there's our second glove.
The Titan's mitts in the back of the waterway.
Okay, Seed. I see where you're going with this. This is that's quite cruel. That also, however, means that our Aga play was not required by logic.
Solski checking Zora and getting his speed booster. Aster up on Death Mountain.
Unfortunately, our runners could not find more than one power bomb pack, so yeah, running through Brinstar with just 5 power bombs is... Oh, it's a slow one. Thankfully, we'll have a short chance to recharge these power bombs.
Yeah, not much to go on. I guess they just want you to farm a bit, which is tedious.
It appears we have Solski doing a hell run. After finding their speed booster, they're going to try to take advantage of it straight up.
Maybe it'll pay off for him. No, just missiles.
Yeah, just using a quick check to check what that cathedral item was. I was kind of curious because he wasn't using the speedway to get to Bubble Mountain, since he's just found speed booster, but obviously a quick check to that item. Or is he using the bomb strats to get into Houlihan Room? Because he must have worked out that Zora is our only play, so he's trying to farm Rippies as fast as he can. That Houlihan does pay out 200 and... Is it 225 rupees, I believe, as a one-time only deal?
I believe so. 225. Reckness picking up more power bombs.
Yeah, Reckness using the smart play, going back, double checking those checks he couldn't do because he didn't have morph bullets.
Now it
So
won't have to
looking
farm
towards...
as often.
Yeah, Socio looks like he's heading towards Crocomire. Doesn't have any super missiles, so we need to get one off the cactus.
Yeah, I think it's too soon to take on Crocomire. Not enough ammo and don't have charge beam.
Solski's energy dipping a bit low there. And then taking a quick lava bath was not helping.
I'm surprised Reckness didn't pick up those power bombs. I'd pick up all the ammo I could get. Solski taking on Crocomire. He's got enough missiles, so I think he should be fine.
So we'd have Aussie making their way through towards Brinstar, and they will eventually end up in the pink to get their Morph Ball. Asdar is making the unfortunate climb up Red Tower. We do, however, know there's nothing there. Meanwhile, Solski finding Screw Attack behind Crocomire. And Raknus looks to be heading back towards their ship. Wonder if they're going to make the play up towards Gauntlet, knowing that they've seen the back of Gauntlet. Obviously deciding to check out the Criteria power bombs while they're here.
Just another heart piece in the upper area. Full heart container for Solski. And he's got Screw Attack now. Was Screw Attack behind Crocomire?
Yeah, it was the Crocomire E-Tank.
That's a good find.
Aussie picking up their Morph Ball. Hopefully going to check Waterway straight away and get their Titan's Mitt.
No, not going down there.
That could be worrying, depending on how long it takes him to go back and check that out.
I figure he wants to check everything up here first, and then he might go down there. He's gonna check the Mission Impossible room first.
Solski finding one of their green rupees at the grapple beam location. Not something you want a green glitch into. $300 rubies under the old Mother Brain location. That would have been nice if we didn't already pay off Zora, but whatever. More money's always nice. It'll be nice just in case we don't have enough to play Kiki to get into Pod.
Oh yes, the monkey. Another
Ragnar
300
found
rubies for
another one, yeah.
Redness. Solsky putting that grapple beam to good use. And then sadly falling in the lava.
Yep, a lava bath is not something you want to be taking, especially with only 2 energy tanks.
Question is, can he pull off this wall jump? No, he's gonna reset.
Hopefully he did save just after Crocomire. Yeah, it looks like he did.
Oh no, Reckness left the Billy Mays room and I didn't catch what was there.
I unfortunately did
Just
not either.
an E-tank. Just junk, nothing special.
Ragnar did look like he picked up Plasma Beam though. No, Chef Sippers was just 20 rupees, I'm afraid, Kichiri.
Reckness does indeed have plasma.
It was likely behind the wall before you go up towards Billy Mays. I generally don't know what it's called.
I know the area you're talking about.
Ragnar's finding some blue goo in green hills. Someone has melted Sonic.
Asder finally getting his speed booster. That'll help him out.
Solsky doing a neat little trick here where you reverse run the gauntlet to get to Crocomire with the speed boosters to get to Crumble Tower.
Aussie coming back for those super missiles and power bombs.
Rakinus doing the Wavegate glitch, gets its second attempt. Unfortunately, only misses as his reward. We have Aster taking a quick trip towards Bubble Mountain, and they're gonna do a Blue Gate glitch. Much easier, as you can do it with just missiles as well as their shippers. So it looks like we're going to have Asda following in Solsky's footsteps. Unfortunately, not going to find very much except from Screw Attack. Definitely a good safety to have. But
I love
unfortunately, it's
having
not
screw
our
attack when
progression.
I can get it. If I was any of these racers right now, I'd want to be Solsky with that screw attack. It just makes me feel good.
Yeah, because there's very few things in Super Metroid which actually hits you through Screw Attack, and I believe Ridley's Tail is one of the only 2 things to do it. I believe Mother Brain being the other thing.
Asder getting his screw attack behind Crocomire. Good stuff.
Solsky doing a very smart move after finding Screw Attack, which is to go for Gauntlet. You no longer need the Morph Ball to get through those walls with your Power Bombs, you just blast straight through them.
I never like checking Gauntlet, it always feels so long and tedious.
Unfortunately, only bomb, so Gauntlet is entirely wasteful because we know it's at the end of it, which is just bomb capacity for Link to the Past and a piece of heart.
And then when you don't find anything there, it feels like such a huge time sink for nothing. What a downer.
Arachne's choosing to check out X-ray scope as well. Only finding missiles though.
That grapple beam is really coming handy for Aster. He's getting around.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to try and escape from grapple without having grapple beam. It is possible to do it without the gravity suit. I believe Wild Anaconda has a video that teaches you how to do it. But I believe it's all to do about watching the water and make sure as it goes up and down, you have to time your jump properly to get a wall jump off the opposing side of the ledge. But I believe it's a very, very pernickety trick.
Solsky checking Brimstar. Aussie getting his payout from old Mother Brain. Solsky picking up his can of Brenna.
Racken is choosing to go to Kraid now. We'll see if he takes Kraid to the prom or not.
Our first crate fight. So many pieces of heart this race. All the love.
And Solsky picking up their morph ball. We're glad to see that. Meanwhile, Ozzy looks to be heading up towards Billy Mays.
Oh, Reckness couldn't quite get the quick kill. It's time to dance. And Kraid is down. Solsky picking up his Titan's mitts.
Kraid just holding power bombs. So where has her various suit went walkies to?
Maybe this seed wants them to do some hot diving. Hell runs.
Our hell runs are in logic because I believe you need a minimum of 5 energy tanks / reserve tanks. You need to have some combination of 5. Need to double check the numbers personally, but I think it's 3 to get to Ice Beam and 5 to do the rest of Norfair with.
The more the better.
It'll be interesting to see if Arachnis chooses to continue inside Norfair, or are they going to take their Titan Smiths and go into Link to the Past?
See,
Still don't
picking
have
up
a
his
hook.
Titan's mitts.
We still don't have a hammer or a hookshot to get access to East Death Mountain, which would be nice to check as you're sort of coming out on Death Mountain, coming out from north.
Looks like Reckness is doing the hell dive, the ice beam location. Let's see what we find there.
My hard mode says I've definitely seen Varia hang out here more times
Just
than I'd
some
like.
rubies. Nothing special. So yeah, my prediction is that Bubble Mountain is going to hold something nice. And if we're lucky, a few nice things. It's gonna be rough making it there though. Without the Varia suit. Astor picking up his cane at Brenna.
They will be happy to see those flippers because that puts him back on logic now. Yeah, X-ray only gives us missiles, I'm afraid, Kachiri. So yeah, Ragnar's choosing to drive back into Link to the Past, so we'll be able to see some Dark World checks from Thieves Town and the Village of Outcasts.
He's got the gloves, he's got the mirror, got the moon pearl. Should make some Dark World plays happen.
He's also got red mail and 9 hearts. That's ridiculously safe for the seed.
Very healthy. Good defense.
Although I'm not sure if Arachnus has their third sword. We'll see it soon when they swing it. And Asda as well, picking up their Titan's mitts. Brewery containing a bottle of blue goo. For once, they've actually produced something this time.
Blue goo. Sick kid just has a piece of heart.
So Ozzy choosing to take a dive over the moat towards wrecked ship. We're going to see a ghostly spider on the screen. If you have arachnophobia, please look away. Trying to get the wall jumping to check that early missiles from up there, which is it's quite difficult to get it, but... Oh, X-ray scope inside the
X-ray
moat.
scope.
Outside wrecked ship. We have 2 or 3 items to do our microwave strats.
Looks like the digging game didn't have anything good. Just some arrows.
Ozzy doing one of my more favourite strats with to do with Speedbuster, which is to fly across the outside of the ship.
I never like going to the wrecked ship. It's my least favorite part of Super Metroid.
I generally hate the Phantoon fight. There's been so many times
Oh, the shovel.
There's been so many times on just normal mode logic where I've had to do a low percent Phantoon and I've just forfeited the seat at that point. I've just walked away. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I've just refused. Our Smith just crafted some money. Don't know how much use the counterfeit rupees will be, but we'll need to wait and see.
Looks like Reckness is going for the purple chest. Hopefully this fetch quest pays off. It would be nice to get some Metroid beams like Ice Beam or Charge Beam. Anything would be nice.
Charge Beam is definitely a good find because you no longer have to worry about your ammo counts anymore. You don't have to worry about picking up supers or make sure you've got enough missiles and supers combined to get through Mother Brain and Turio.
But this is a hard seed, so I doubt we're going to get anything useful anytime soon. This one wants to make you work for it. Astor picking up his X-ray scope.
And it looks like Solsky's also taken the dive into their Link to the Past. Meanwhile, Ozzy is finished off Phantoon.
Let's see what this purple chest has for us. Just a bomb upgrade. Blah. I'm curious to see what Solsky finds in the Dark Woods. Or no, he's leaving.
Bracken is heading over to everyone's favourite cave. Is it going to be hype or is it going to be a word rhyming with that, which we're not allowed to say?
More garbage. Just some rubies. Energy tank. More rubies. Super missiles. And reserve tank. Nothing special. Not as hype as you were hoping for.
Oh, Kachiri gives it a 1 out of 10. I tend to agree with that, yeah. So we have Astor now taking on Phantoon. We have Solsky doing a North Hyrule check for the Graveyard Ledge. It contains
We
a
got the
wave.
wave theme.
So that's 2 beams down, 2 beams to go. We're looking for Ice and Charge now.
Yeah, as far
Astor
as
needs
beams
to be
go,
careful.
not the best beam.
Astor down to 20 health plus whatever's on reserves. He really needs to be careful. Although the screw attack definitely does help with his fires.
Aussie jumping through that spike room. Not a fun room to jump through. As they're
Rachnis
taking down Phantoon.
And we get Rachnis checking into Swamp to check this one chest that he has access to without the hammer. And it's a real troll if hammer is here. Unfortunately not.
Just the map.
Unfortunately, you can't hit down pegs with that.
No.
it's one of those plays that's sort of mixed reaction, because if you do it and it's nothing, you're sort of like, yeah, okay, it was nothing, I didn't expect it to be much. But if you do it and it turns out to be something, oh, you get to brag about that for a week.
Mhm. Solsky found a blue potion in that bombed shed earlier.
It looks like Arachnus is choosing to go over towards Phantom now as well, so we only have Solskjaer left and inside Link the Past. Hopefully they might dive Thieves Town. They did open it up slightly earlier. Yep, it looks like they're going in.
Just some super missiles in the back for Aussie. Reckness picking up his shovel. Some power bombs down there.
Aussie using the extra scope for one of his few intended purposes.
Just some rubies on the ceiling. Regular missiles down in the hole. That charge beam is great for farming though. Quick grab for items.
Yeah, we'll put him back up just a bit more health, just in case he has to take a plummet onto those spikes. Because they do a lot of damage with no suits to protect you. Meanwhile, Reckness is taking on Phantom. Asdar is finishing up the attic of wrecked ship. And we have Solsky heading deeper into Pendant Thieves Town.
Looks like Aussie's going bowling.
And Solsky finds a single arrow.
I was about to say, was that the hook shot or was that a single arrow? Yeah, just a single arrow. Great.
I believe we're just missing one single green rupee now. And that way our run will be completely validated.
It amazes me how much they can search around and not find anything incredibly useful.
And that's Arachnus finished up with Phantom.
Asdar's going bowling.
Yep, Astar close on the heels of Aussie. We're finding out there's not very much actually there in Wreck Ship. We do still need to see where that shovel is, yep. Meanwhile, Solsky gonna take Blind out on a date.
Did we check all the dig locations with the shovel? I know one of them didn't turn up anything.
No, they haven't been back to Link to the Past yet to turn in the shovel.
Well, there's the digging game, and then there's the place in the clearing where you dig in the back corner.
Yeah, so the digging game they give you a shovel for.
Oh, you get a
And that's
shovel?
it's why it costs so much, because technically you're renting the shovel. And we've got the Sacred Grove to go and check, which could hold something, perhaps a vanilla flute, just to wind people up a little bit. Ozzy, however, looks to be taking advantage of those flippers and going to check Hobo, so they'll be picking up their Moon Pearl shortly, and that will open up the Dark World for them.
Solsky's doing the dwarf thing. Blacksmith.
And we're getting paid $20.
Eh. Aussie finally got his Moon Pearl. Solsky taking the purple chest back. Oh, checking the cave first.
Yeah, doing a
Defense
lot of these
missiles.
South High Road checks that we've already seen, unfortunately.
Just some fetch quests. Aussie getting his red mail.
They're not exactly wrong checks. It's nice to get them all done in one big swoop.
Well, you never know. You might get lucky. You just never know when it's going to pay off.
Silsky, you've left the chest behind. Silsky, you need the chest. It's not following you. I think he's realised. But I think it's too late, because I think it only stays for one screen. Oh, it's still there.
It waited.
That is a patient chest.
Indeed.
We have Ozzy checking out the front part of Skullwoods. Finding one of the two items, which is only super missiles.
I have yet to see anything too exciting. Reckon going bowling. As you're making same play. Just gonna find super missiles.
Silsky using those flippers to get to the eastern side of Dark World. That will allow him to check the pyramid and potentially head up towards Catfish.
I think the only fetch quest we haven't checked yet was the bomb run. The bomb to the pyramid. They always save that for last, though. Pyramid didn't have much today.
Just the red orang. Bracken is choosing to get their X-ray scope from the bottom of the moat.
I'm surprised we haven't found Ether or Quake. No book. No suits even. Gravity or Varia.
So again, we've had more major items to unlock a lot of checks, but most of those checks are not returning much wealth in the end, which is likely pushing towards our hell runs, which I think our runners are deciding to put off in hopes of finding various in one of our open locations.
Well, Solsky just picked up that energy tank from the catfish, so maybe they're hoping to get more energy tanks before having to make those hell runs. Because yes, it does feel like the seed is pushing them into a hell run. Or maybe even suitless Meridia, which is slow and annoying.
Yeah, they do have high jump boots, they do have speed booster, but it doesn't really help them very much. And they do have spring ball. And Solsky looking to take a dive into the back door of Meridia.
I've got a feeling that one of them is gonna end up doing suitless Meridia. Seems to be Solsky at the moment. This is what it feels like to run in slow motion. As you're picking up his blue goo. Just some super missiles in the rocks for Solsky. Time to go quicksand diving.
Meanwhile, everyone else is sort of covering each other's tracks again. We do have Solsky doing a suitless Meridia, taking advantage of
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be really funny if he finds gravity down here. Gravity suit, yay! Looks like Recnus is taking the raked tube route, but not going in yet.
Looks like Rakinus may be heading towards our hell runs. So we'll see both Meridia and Northfair. We'll see which one is holding the suit, perhaps. Or
It's
which one is holding
essentially
progression out.
It's essentially 2 hell runs of a different cloth. You got your heat hell run and your slow motion water run.
Ozzy handing in the shovel to find a hook shot, though.
Ooh. Finally, the hook shot was found.
So that hook shot will open up East Death Mountain. It will open Swamp Palace.
The bow. Who saw bow?
Kuchiri, was that bow in one of the sand pits? Yeah, Solsky saw it, so left sand pit. So we need to remember it's there. But obviously doing the save reset to try and get out and check the right sand pit and make sure it doesn't have any major items.
Well, that's what he saved for.
It looks like King Cactac was not that much of an issue for Reckonus.
Bubble Mountain usually has great things, so I hope to see something useful here.
And that looks like morph ball bombs inside the right sand pit.
Indeed.
This might be one of these rare occasions where you actually have to go around and get both. And it's definitely not a play you want to do inside a suitless Meridian. Because that is slow.
So slow. Ah, the Book of Medora. And the space jump. Oh yes, Bubble Mountain. I swear, Bubble Mountain's always got something great. This time it was at the speed boost location. And since he has speed boots, the lava is rising.
Solsky taking advantage of the snail sticking to the wall and is going to climb up towards Shaktool. And now we have Ozzy and Dark Death Mountain. So we'll be able to see Hookshot Cave, we'll be able to see Super Bunny Cave, we'll be able to mirror into the light world to see our Paradox Cave, and we'll also be able to check the medallion required to get into Turtle Rock. So we've been able to see which of our 3 medallions are required. But then again, Turtle Rock is also a green pendant.
Ozzy got the magic powder.
And that looks like a hammer.
Reckonus found the hammer. Good stuff. Finally, we're getting progression items.
And silver.
Silver
so
arrows.
Upper North are paying off.
This seed wanted you to do a hell dive. Hookshot Cave hasn't had much yet. Ah, but there was the fire rod. And ether. So there we go. Finally getting progression items. It was only a matter of time.
And that looked like bombos required to get into Turtle Rock.
Solsky found the Pegasus boots. In the watering hole, or whatever this spot's called. The backwater cave. Hidden spot.
So we now have access to a lot of items that are potentially locking away our Varia and her gravity suit. And maybe they need items to get into each other, or maybe they do actually need to do these runs to gain the items to get those suits.
I call this watering hole in the back the wishing well, which has the mushroom. and an energy tank. I always thought that spot was called the wishing well. Watering hole wishing well.
Meanwhile, Arachne is helping Crocodile take a lava bath.
It always feels good to get that screw
Oh, there's
attack.
gravity. There's gravity on East Island inside the Paradox Cave.
Yay, gravity.
So that might push Ozzy towards taking a trip into Meridia.
So I guess we don't have to do slow motion dives after all. Don't need to do a suitless Meridia. If only Solsky knew that. High jump boot location at a heart container. Or else.
We are so going back to reclaim the bowl. We have Ozzy heading towards Parade as Asda has just recently finished with Parade and is heading towards Norfair. And
He's
Rackin's
got the
checking out.
spring ball jump. Can he make it with just the spring ball jump?
I don't know if the spring ball on its own is big enough to jump that gap.
There he goes. He made it. He got his bow. And the bug catching net. Aussie takes down Grade. As they're checking the ice beam location, which we saw earlier, just to add some rubies. I missed seeing Reckness pick up the hammer. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I remember him picking up the hammer.
Sosuke doing a nicely timed jump out of the breaking of the glass tube to just immediately launch himself up towards the door.
Quick strats. Yeah, we still haven't seen the charge beam. Feels bad, man. I really hope the charge beam's not behind Ridley. That would be a
Is
shoulder
the
thing to
charge
do.
beam requirement for Ridley only a normal strat, or can you get past that with hard modes?
think it's hard locked.
It's this like problem with running normal for so long and commentating the normal races is just getting mixed up about what's actually required for hard mode. So it is a proper lock then, so charge is always required to deal with Ridley. So at least our runners will have one place they do not have to check.
Astor picking up his gravity suit.
And there's
And
Fairy set
Aussie.
behind Mama Turtle.
Aussie found the Various suit. That big turtle was hiding it. That's rather surprising. I was really expecting it to be a hell dive and a suitless Meridia, since this is a hard seed.
So Gravity was on East Death Mountain in Paradox Cave.
Yeah.
And we needed our shovel to get to our hook shop to gain access to our East Death Mountain.
Just a piece of heart from the tablet.
Yeah, I reckon it's taking advantage of that book to go and check off these one-off locations. And we'll be using their hammer so they can get access to East Death Mountain instead of the hook shop. And there's Soski finding their gravity, their Various suit, sorry, inside Mama Turtle.
And Aussie got his Pegasus boots. Retinus
So-
checking Spiral Cave.
Even though it's not required, it's nice to see Soski doing some hard mode tricks with her suitless Meridia. He
Yeah.
needs to be careful because he doesn't have a way of destroying those pirates yet.
Astor picking up his magic dust. Astor got his ether in the Hookshot Cave.
Meanwhile, we have Aussie taking down Botwin.
That's one dead snake. Solski taking down Kraid. I'm surprised. Very quick.
Rakinus will be picking up their gravity suit inside Paradox. We've got as they're just taking their dive into Meridia, will soon come across their own Various suit. Unless they go and check Spacer that first. And And we have Ozzy taking on Dragon.
I wonder if he's going to use the charge beam strat. Or speed boost dash strats. Nope, he's going to use
Unfortunately,
the
get
charge beam.
grabbed.
There we go. Let's see what he was hiding behind his boss fight. Just some missiles.
We have Aster going into Mama Turtle Run, so they'll be picking up their various suit. Hopefully the gravity suit Arachnus picked up on Death Mountain is going to push them towards Meridia. And they too will have their various suits, so they'll be able to access and progress through Super Metroid. That'll send them on towards their major items such as the hammer and their silver upgrade. And as well as their bow.
It feels good when everything comes together. When you have both suits, it feels more free. Like you can get around easy. As they're picking up his Pegasus boots. Feels good to run fast.
I believe it's quite possible the only items we are looking for is actually our red cane and possibly charge beam. From going from such an item start to the seeds, we now have just 1 or 2 items to go.
I see the first one to get the butter sword. Got all his sword upgrades. And the regular bombs. Not that he needs to bomb jump anything at this point though. With high jump boots and grapple beam.
Ozzy looks to be heading towards Shack Tool. I wonder what her tool will have for us today.
Solsky got his bow in the Bubble Mountain. He's getting the other items at the speed booster location. All the good stuff.
Yep, heading down to get his space jump or help him navigate through Lord Norfair.
Indeed. And the
And
book.
his book to do some one-off checks and Link to the Past. Could also be the best way to access Desert, although we do know it is just a pen. So it's very likely that Desert's not going to be required this seed.
It was funny to watch Solsky go in there, and she was about to turn around and run out, and took another look at the item. Is like, oh, it is something I want.
It's just one of those, wait a minute. Oh, that's a Quake.
There's the Quake.
So if we need Quake to get in and buy her, this is going to be a bit of a troll.
Uh-huh. Yeah, nobody wants to come down here and check this.
So we now know what all 3 medallions are. Although I believe Ozzy's the only one who's actually picked up all 3. Because I don't believe Astor or Solsky have picked up either.
One of the few times that checking Shack Gold paid off. Huh. Solsky picking up his hammer. That's gonna be useful. Very quick charge beam from Asder. Very quick boss fight. Just regular missiles at the plasma beam location. Reckless. Making a quick jump to the bow. No trouble at all.
Meanwhile, we have Solsky heading into Lower Norfair.
Making that save. Preparing for the trip.
Lower Norfair is not a friendly place. Even with both suits, the damage the enemies can dish out still tear through your health. So imagine only having Various suit. He's only got a couple of hits in him before his suit would break and he'd be down. So definitely making sure to save.
I think Various suit gives you 50% defense, and both suits give you 75% total, I think.
He does also have that safety and screw attack though, which will eat through most of the enemies down here, so it's not too much of a concern for him, especially if someone of Solsky's caliber.
Yeah, he's a talented player. I'm surprised Asder didn't go for those bombs, but I guess he's gonna come back for it later, maybe?
Possibly believes they're not required because he's got Spring Ball, so don't really need to
bomb jump.
Don't really need the normal bomb jumps, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're helpful to free yourselves from the Metroid if we don't find ice. Or if we do find ice, sorry, because if we don't find ice, we use the Metroids, we gather them up and just use the power bomb.
He might have also been just checking to see what was there, and maybe he'll come back for it later. I've seen players do that before. Picking up his bow right now.
And we also had the red cane outside Golden Chorizo. So that red cane was locked behind Space Jump, which was in our Speed Restaurant location. And at the end of this fight, Solsky can go straight out into Misery Mire to see what our medallion is for Nightmare Marsh.
Too bad we haven't found Charge Beam yet. Just 10 arrows up there. Above the gold Torito.
So starting to look like Charge Beam may be our last logical required item to progress the seed, but we all know we can get around that with just stacking up on lots of super missiles.
You don't absolutely...
It's quick! A visit to Shaktula is required.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a nasty troll.
Everyone puts that off so long. It was actually surprising that he already checked it, because not many do. Looks like we got money in Checkerboard Cave. Yeah, I think Aussie has a huge lead now.
So say get some more power bombs out the mire shed, and it's a little bit of money. Yeah, now Ozzy has both his suits. He'll be handling his trip through Norfair, run out all those checks, so he'll get a space jump, he'll get hammer. Hopefully that'll point him towards Lower North.
He's got all the medallions, he's got the book. Can pretty much do it all. Just needs to go get that hammer. As they're also picking up the book in the space jump.
So it's taking a quick little dive into Desert Palace, finding out it is boots locked, but we know where our boots are.
Asder's doing a bit of farming.
So one of our items from Desert is only 20 rupees.
Now all he needs is the cane. Oh yeah, he just picked up the silver arrows. Those are useful too.
Hopefully, with having space jump, that will push him downwards towards Lower Norfair. Yeah, so Desert not holding much of much happiness.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the flute this whole time.
Yeah, unfortunately, with Lower Norfair being our gateway into the Mire area, flute can be in any location it wants, and Ganon's Tower or Pendant Turtle Rock tend to be very popular choices for it.
I guess this seed just wanted them to use the portals to their advantage in this race.
It's amazing how much flexibility these portals add into the randomizer races. Especially because in a spoiler race not too long ago, we saw our first glove upgrade hiding in one of the sand pits. And that would have been a really nasty troll if it wasn't a spoiler sheet. Because I believe we had to do Aghanim to get access to that Dark World portal in the first place.
Looks like Mickey Mouse is just a piece of heart. More love. This whole seed has just been given a big hug. There's the cane. Found the red cane, Aussie.
Yeah, I believe that puts Aussie in go mode at 1 hour and 49 minutes.
He's in go mode, isn't he?
Yep. Because the only thing he doesn't know is what's medallion he needs, but he has all three, so he is definitely safe from that. And he'll be so happy to see that it's Quake when he takes a dip into Mystery Mire. He'll know that going to our Chactail paid off for him. Yeah, technically by logic he needs the charge beam. We can't get around that charge beam just stacking tons of missiles and tons of super missiles.
I just realized Aussie never went to go get the screw attack. Huh.
Sosuke finding half magic in the power bombs of shame. Well, not required, definitely very useful.
Aussie's opening up the mire.
Yeah, I believe Ozzy knows he's in go mode. He's just going to do a dungeon rush, and with Meyer being right here and no sign of the flute, it makes sense to just get in here and clear it while you can.
Yeah, just clear it out. Get everything done that you know you can do.
Yeah, I believe last week's seed required you to go through all of Lower Norfair to get access to, I believe it was Hookshot, which required you to get bow or something like that. It ended up being essentially 100% seed, but you had to double dip Lower Norfair to get to Meyer twice. It was not a nice seed.
Reckness picking up his... Was that Bombos?
Yeah, it was Bombos inside the back of Shahasha's hut. He'll possibly be looking to go into Pod and just clear out Pod and Eastern Palace at the same time. Having a bit of trouble with his portal, just because of where it is.
Reckness walking the monkey. And Solsky fighting Ridley. Don't mess with those missiles, because it's all you got. I saw one amazing fight with Ridley where he used all his missiles and he was down to his last power bomb, and the very last power bomb took out Ridley. That was the most impressive Ridley fight I had ever seen. I think that was a few months ago in March.
And that's Ridley down for Solskjaer. With 10 missiles to spare. Was he eventually finding that big key? That was hiding there on Misery Mire.
It always feels so clutch to go into a Ridley fight with no charge beam. I'm always afraid I'm gonna miss.
And especially one of the 25 supers as well, since 30 is... You need 30 supers to deal with Ridley. And I believe it's 6 missiles per super you're missing, so you would definitely need to have hit with at least 30 of his missiles.
Yeah. 29 supers. Lots of Zelda dungeon crawling.
Silver's making the Vitreous fight so easy.
It's funny how they all go into the boss fights at the same time.
Yep, we have Asder and Pod, we have Aussie finishing off Misery Mire, we have Solsky trying to escape out of Lower Norfair.
And as quick as they got there, the quick they leave. Very in and out boss fights. With their sword upgrades making the bosses so much easier.
Yep, they do have Butter Shard, they have Red Mail, they had Silver Arrows. It's a very, very offensive and defensive.
Yeah, this seed was very nice and cruel at the same time. Holding back all the progression items, but giving them lots of health and offense.
Stolsky hopefully takes the hint with the hammer, goes up towards Eastern. Go up towards the East Death Mountain and get access to their gravity suit.
Aussie never went to Crockermeyer, did he? Because he's the only one that doesn't have screw attack.
Although he does use the plasma beam to give those enemies invincibility frames so he can just pass straight through without being hit.
That works.
As they're taking down Armos very easily with those silver arrows. And Aussie using Shine Sparks to get rid of those metal pirates. Aussie is choosing to not check anything on the way down, so we must believe he has enough ammo to deal with Mother Brain.
Here we go with Ridley.
I don't know the exact ammo count for Mother Brain, but I believe he does have enough. 45 supers, 105 missiles.
I figure he assumes that this is we're not gonna find the charge beams, so might as well just go for it. Finish Super Metroid with what we have. He certainly doesn't need the screw attack to finish the game. I just, it's just something I like having myself. But yeah, I think in his current condition, he could finish the game.
Yeah, Aussie is definitely a skilled player, just as all of our runners are in this race.
Clipping through textures like that. It's got the skills. Aussie recently won the Super Metroid Prodigy Tournament. He's essentially making some sacrifices, giving up items like Screw Attack to save him some time overall, so maybe it'll go in his favor.
Yeah,
with
unfortunately, I didn't get to see much of the SM Prodigy tournament.
with Ozzy's current items, yeah, I'm sure he's fine. And he feels like he's fine. He's gonna live without Screw Attack. I'm sure he knows that he doesn't need it. That's just a personal thing on my part. I like having all the items. I'm a bit of a completionist myself. I like collecting all the things.
Yeah, it's one reason I don't race is because I get distracted easily. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's
Yeah,
here. Oh, I wonder what's here.
I wouldn't race at all because I know I'll just get caught up in finding everything and doing all the dungeons instead of focusing on progression and items. Recnus just got his charge beam. I mean grapple beam. I didn't mean to say charge beam. I meant to say grapple. I just keep thinking about the charge beam because I'm surprised we haven't found it 2 hours into the race. And it would be really nice to have. But oh well. Probably not going to find charge beam until Ganon's Tower.
My charge beam, I don't think can be in Ganon's Tower because I don't think you can have any progression items for Super Metroid inside Ganon's Tower.
But is charge beam really a progression item? It's just a useful item.
I believe it's required by logic to kill Ridley.
Oh. But they're killing Ridley with just super missiles.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. It's like hard. The lamp is also like forced by logic because you should never really need to do a dark room.
I guess I don't know all the logic rules. I have my own mental logic.
The logic's just a suggestion sometimes, though. It's like if you can get by without them, you can get by without them.
Yeah.
Because the logic also like thinks that you have an infinite source of money, which unless you really pick up the gloves early on, you don't really have an infinite source of money, or if you do, it's a very, very slow grind.
Yeah, at the beginning you're perfectly broke. You never know where you're gonna find those 300 ruby drops. Do we have Solski going into Turtle Rock?
He has the tools to clear it.
He's at least opening it up.
He doesn't know where some of his items are. It's not a particularly bad play.
Yep, he's going in there.
We know it's the wrong play, but given the circumstance, it's not particularly a bad play. Really, Ragnas diving into Ice Palace. So we have 2 new locations to look for items. So it's unfortunately realizing that he doesn't have hookshot, can't do the quick escape out of the torches. You have to go the long way around.
A long way. Too bad he didn't go for the hook shot. Too bad he didn't know.
Sosuke, unfortunately, being one of our few runners who hasn't been to wreck ships, has not managed to pick up their shovel. Was he getting a nice super speed off of the entrance to Swamp Palace?
Aussie picked up this phaser.
Picked up the meme beam. Fortunately, doesn't need it because we already have plasma.
Is the phaser required for the Metroid baby skip? Because it helps clear the way to open the pathway.
No,
I've never
it's just
seen
the
anyone...
ice beam that's required for using the Metroid.
Oh, that's the wave beam.
Yeah, Spacer's just really there for if you can't find plasma, it's sort of useful to have as like extra DPS on your beam, but it's not required for anything.
I've only seen players do the baby skip with all the beams. I've never seen them get the baby skip with a single beam, because you have to shoot more to clear the path.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, it's just very difficult.
Yeah, harder.
I think most of the runs I see is like no one really finds high jump bits, so it's not even worth trying to go for babies. Yep, Asger is currently in Golden Chorizo, finding a nice spot on the left-hand side. At a nice sweet spot where Chorizo just can't hit you. Unfortunately, doesn't have any more, or needs to farm some supers before you can finish him off. And when Asda gets to that swamp, he is going to have a nightmare realizing that Quake is the required to gain access to Mars.
Oh dear. At least he's got that charge beam for quick farming super missiles.
Yeah, the grapple definitely helps with that. Is Solsky hovering?
Yes, he just hovered over.
What a cheat.
That's his favorite move. I've never actually seen him make it all the way across the Hammersaur boss, but he usually makes it like halfway across.
Yeah, I guess he just did it for a laugh. Just to see, make sure, yeah, I can still hover.
Yeah,
like, I have the rod in my
has the
hand, I
thing.
just don't want to use it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to use the magic.
He'll need to save his swinging arm for the boss. That's why he wants to use up his leg energy first. Rackinus choosing to finish off Cold Stare. Meanwhile, we have Ozzy trying to find his big key in Piles of Darkness.
I'm curious what this mirror bridge has. So far, just love in a map.
So his last check must have the key, unless he used it before coming into this room.
Yeah, he got the key.
Sosuke, there's a bridge like 2 steps to your right. Come on, man.
He's just trolling the viewers.
Now he's just showing off.
Solsky and that sense of humor. Here we go with the big squag strats. Didn't
I don't
even
think.
make it that far that time.
I wonder if he even has the arm strength to do that. Because that's quite a commitment.
How much time sink are you gonna do in this?
I don't even think
Yep.
I've seen Andy do this.
He made it halfway again. He always
Yeah,
makes it about halfway and then he gives up.
So as there is in Desert, he has likely received his bad news that Quake is required, and is now on the hunt for Quake. I mean, I saw Andy do the firebar room in the dark and hovered through that without the cane. Because Andy does his hell run, his hell randomizers as he calls them, and he definitely did that once or twice. I've just never seen that room in particular being done. After getting his second item out of Desert, mark that off as completed.
Yep, that's it for Turtle Rock. The bosses in Link to the Past aren't given much today.
No, all our items are in Super Metroid.
Yeah.
The only thing not in Super Metroid was our Speed Booster, which was required to get all of our Super Metroid items. And that was swimming with the fishies until someone decided to sell it.
I'm curious to see what that green pendant gives us.
Yeah, so Skill, take advantage of this. Just mirror in, hand in the pendant, see what it is.
It was just rubies. Lots of rubies.
Arachnus is going to see his red cane. Does thankfully have space jump, so you could just go run and pick it up. And then when they take that trip into Misery Mire, they're going to have that horrible feeling of where could Quake be.
I don't believe anybody's checked the mushroom yet.
Yep, I believe Magic Bat and Mushroom are still open.
Yeah, magic powder and red mushroom have not been checked yet. Just a piece of art from another boss fight. Nope, Reckness didn't get the red cane yet.
Green pendant was just money. Just some rupees.
Just rubies.
We have Astor and Ice Palace checking all his items, and Ozzy's going to be close behind them with the advantage of just being able to go more Ice Palace.
Yeah, Ozzy really has it all. He's got everything he could ever want except for the charge beam. And ice beam, I guess, would be nice as well.
It would be nice, but he's definitely got more than enough power bombs to deal with all the Metroids.
Yeah. Reckon checking out the Meyer cave. Or the shack, or whatever this place is called. Back shed.
Yep, the Meyer shed.
Rubies and power bombs.
Some bombs. Obviously now doing the bomb jump to get across Ice Palace.
We've already seen plenty of ice caves, so not expecting to see anything in here. Reckness checking desert. Desert dungeon. They're all in the dungeons right now. Dungeon crawling.
Ozzy with the clear advantage of just being able to go mode everything, meanwhile everyone's looking for Quake for Azure, and Sosuke needs to go to Wreck Ship to pick up his shovel to get his hookshot, and also find Quake. And Reckonus, I believe, also needs
Just
to
a reserve. Just a reserve tank. Another boss not given much.
Ozzy making a very nice and quick, clean
Very
kill of
nice
Cold
and
Stare
quick
with the
fight.
bar sword.
Very nice quick fights.
Yep, great advantage of the butter sword. Just beat them into the corner and just keep them there. Just once they start running away, you start panicking.
Just shoot them with the fire rod a bunch and then whack them a few times with a butter sword. Nice and quick and easy. Yeah, I'm really surprised that Reckness didn't go for that red cane. Did he not see it, or is he just planning to go around and get it later?
I'm sure I've seen him go around and get it. We can always double check though when he gets back to Link to the Past.
It's gonna really make him smack his forehead.
Yeah, definitely the hardest part is trying to watch 4 screens at once to just a reminder who's did.
So he did get it. Let's see what Mothra has for us today. Hopefully she's more giving than the other bosses were.
Unfortunately, I think we've seen both items in here.
Just the compass.
Yeah, I think our 2 items from Skullwoods were seen earlier. So I believe that is Ozzy's 7th crystal, and we'll now be heading up towards Ganon's tower.
It's nice to see when Ozzy opens his inventory, everything is found. Everything's filled in. Feels good.
So as Ozzy is about to make his way up to Ganon's tower, we have 23 possible locations for a big key to be in. Which number do you think it is? Get your
Everyone,
guess.
pick
Yeah.
your number. Pick your number. I'm gonna go with 3 because 3 is the Triforce, and the number 3 is got a lot of power.
I think I'm going to go with number 1, because that's what it was the last time I did this scene.
I've seen it be 5 a few times. And I've seen it be 8 a few times. I've seen it be 19. I feel like 3 today.
The best is when it's on the torch, and the boots are on the next room, just over to the right. That is a proper troll.
If we see the charge beam in Ganon's tower, I'm gonna tell you guys, I told you so. So hard.
I'm going to be very upset. And Rakan is finishing off Ridley. As Asdor finish off Argus. Gets his Beezer.
Nope, not. I'm paying close attention to Aussie at the moment. Bombs. Supers. Regular missiles. So many chests and nothing special. Key on the torch.
So meanwhile, we have Asdor at the Digger game, likely going to be heading up towards Skullwoods next. Hopes of finishing off that dungeon and getting one less crystal to worry about. And Soulscape hopefully finishing off a few checks, and Super Metroid will hopefully lead him towards a shovel, and he can get his hook shot from the Sacred Grove. Sosuke doing the quick grapple strats. It was very nicely done.
I love that hammer dash move that Asder just did.
Yep, a good old Japanese 1.0 trick. It's not available in any other version.
Nothing yet. Ah, you got a shield.
So I believe that's our second shield of the game. I believe the first one was inside Rex ship underneath the bowling. I'm curious to see where the mirror shield is then.
A lot of racers don't pick up the shield if they can help it. They consider it a waste of time.
See, the shield is a very situational to me because the red shield is very useful against blinds, especially if you're doing it on green mail with very low hearts.
Yeah.
I find the red shield just soaks up so many red fireballs that you kind of forget it's there.
And the mirror shield helps you on the mirror bridge, blocking those lasers.
Yeah, unfortunately, mirror shield does occasionally cause lag in the game, which
Yeah, I've heard about lag.
it's very, very minuscule, but over a huge period of time, it does add up.
Soulsky
And-
picking up his gold sword.
And that looks like our tower room has the big key.
Yep,
So if
I
anyone said 20,
was totally wrong. It wasn't in 3.
this seed has just been like, you know what, you've had it too easy. We're gonna put this somewhere obscure.
All the way in the back. We're gonna make you go through all the things. You gotta survive all the obstacles to get what you need. I think it's the seed's way of saying 2 hours is too short. These things have to play out longer than 3 hours. Because that's the way these things go.
I didn't see Soulsky go near Shack 2, but I could be wrong.
Oh, he's gonna regret not checking Shack Tool.
It's one of those things. It's like if you have the items to go there, you should just go get it out your way. It is a one-off check and it is a bit of a time sink, but unfortunately, you don't want to skip it just in case you end up with a situation like we have right now, where Quake is
So
on
many
Shack
people
2.
put it off. Because of that time sink, they don't want to take the time.
Oh, is he making his way through the gauntlet of GT? Meanwhile, Astor and Rakinus are in Skullwoods.
Yeah, Reckness just picked up some red juice. Got that red potion. Man, they're gonna facepalm so hard when they realize They didn't check Shack Tool. That's gonna be the one thing that holds them back in this race.
Yeah, it's likely going to be the last place a lot of our runners will check.
It's always something. There's always one item that throws them off. Reckon it's picking up his wave beam.
As they're finishing off Mothula.
One of the very few times that Shack Tool is required. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so for anyone just joining us, Shack Tool is currently holding our Quake, which is our access into Mire. And only Aussie made the play at the time to go and see what Shack Tool was holding. And it's rather unfortunate because most of our runners had the tools to see what Shack Tool was at the time. Yep, Solsky hasn't been to Wreck Ship yet, so he hasn't even picked up his shovel. But hopefully he'll go check it once he does. And once he beats Phantom. Meanwhile, Rakaness is currently doing some fetch quests for us, seeing what our mushroom will hold.
He still hasn't found what he's looking for.
The question though is, what is he looking for? Why would he be looking for them now? Getting a nice triple there.
Yeah, I just wanted to see him find the charge beam. That's all I wanted to see. But sadly, nobody found it. Where did Solsky find the ice beam? I totally missed that. That was in Mirror Cave? Mimic Cave.
Oh, is he taking advantage of Barshard and doing his dash strats against Ganon?
This should be a quick Ganon fight. He's got silver arrows and butter sword, red mail. He's got it all.
So we have Magic Bat to check, and we have the Big Red Bomb to check. So they could be the potential places for our charge beam. We did see Rakaness hand in the mushroom. And that is Aussie finished off Ganon, so if you can get your single G's in chat for Aussie.
Good job. Good job, Ozzy. Aster's making a late game Billy Mays check. I've never seen anyone check Billy Mays in past 2 hours.
Everyone will be running and checking anything they've missed and just praying they haven't missed something obvious.
Like Shaq Tool.
Yep, and when Ozzy puts his dot done into the RSL, it's gonna make people question what they've missed because they're gonna think it's something obvious.
Reckness is using the powder. Just more rubies.
So it's quite possible our Fairy and the Pyramid holds our charge beam then.
Ozzy's heading for Mother Brain. The final showdown.
In fact, did we actually see both items in Mire? Because I don't remember seeing both items.
Gonna powerbomb them to death, since we don't have Ice Beam.
Yep, those Metroid's taken 5 hits from the power bomb, so 3 power bombs per room if you get them optimally.
Solski's gonna have a much better go through here because he's the only one with the Ice Beam. It's really unfortunate that they lost so much time not checking Shaq Tool.
Yeah, with so many more item density locations out there, they're going to take their time going. They're going to check all the pendant dungeon, maybe even check the pedestal while they're there, just to read it with the book, just to make sure it's nothing important.
Maybe at this rate we'll see some completion and find out where the charge beam was hiding. Maybe somebody will stumble across it. Can he get the baby skip? I think he might pull it off. Just a lot of back and forth. And he got it. Great
Yep,
job.
very nicely done.
What a dance with the baby Metroid. Well, that proves what I said earlier about being able to do it without wave beam. It's definitely doable.
Oh, barely missing that starter charge. This is a very, very difficult starter charge that Ozzy is attempting to do to skip through the Zebedee.
Trying to clip through without charge and ice. Yeah, he's just gonna missile his way through.
Yep, decided enough's enough. I've got enough ammo, I'm just gonna blast through them.
Yeah, you waste a lot of time just trying to clip through, and it's just much faster to just missile through. If you can't get it the first and second time, just shoot your way through with missiles. Now to take down Mother Rain. Looks like Astor is also heading for Mother Brain. When I played this for the first time when I was a kid, this music terrified the crap out of me. I didn't realize I could be terrified of a pixelated 16-bit video game, but Mother Brains proved me wrong.
It is definitely an intense fight for the first time.
I would love to hear this song played on pipe organs. After this race, I'm definitely doing a YouTube music search for this theme in pipe organ form. Yeah, it's amazing how much a 16-bit game can have so much of an emotional impact. Definitely impressive work.
It looks like Reckoness is finally using their shovel to get their hook shot from the digging spot.
He has to be happy about that find.
I'll allow him to check through Swamp Palace. Unfortunately, he's not going to find what he's looking for.
Astor uses the dash to get skipped through. I've never seen anyone use that skill before. Using the speed booster to glitch his way through.
Yeah, the star charge is a very, very difficult trick to do, especially at that point. I believe it's 3 stars you need to be able to do to get through that. And it's just such an awkward place because of where the door transition is, and you're in the middle of your charge.
Yeah.
It's definitely the next best thing where you don't have your ice beam to sort of freeze the Zebutite, the rings to get through that. And that is Mother Brain down for Aussie.
Aussie is making his grand escape. Double G's in the chat for Aussie. Okay, maybe I'm premature GGing.
You never know, something could go horribly wrong in the escape. I wouldn't want it to go horribly wrong, and I'd be particularly interested to see how it could go horribly wrong. But you never know.
It's like, oh god, his controller battery died. How will he finish? Power outage, that would be terrible. Let's not jinx it, guys. No animals will be saved today. It's all about that speed timing.
And Aussie has finished first place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 45 minutes, and 31 seconds. Get your GGs in
GG,
chat
Aussie.
for Aussie. We also have had an unfortunate Solskjaer has forfeited from the race.
He's gonna be so disappointed with that check tool check. That is so unfortunate.
And I
Greetings, Aussie.
believe we have Aussie with us. GG Aussie.
Hello, GG.
GG and well done.
So Aussie, answer me this. What made you go for Shack 2?
That's because we had grapple from the very start of the game, pretty much.
So that one grapple item told you that logic was telling you to go check Shack Tool.
Yeah. Ian Hard grapple only blocks Shack Tool, I think.
That was brilliant. You're the only one that checked Shack Tool. And that was all the progression you needed.
Looking at the restream, no one else has Quake yet.
No, no one else has taken that plunge towards Shack 2.
Yeah. There were a couple checks that if you don't do, then can take you a long time to get back to. I almost
So many
missed
racers.
Waterway, for example.
The waterway?
Yeah.
Yeah, the war we have in our Titans mitts.
Yeah, I kind of wasn't ready for the morph ball to be there, and so I forgot I could go down to Waterway after checking Charge Beam.
Yeah, it was definitely a very awkward space for our morph ball this seed.
The whole early game was nothing of progression, and I just kept thinking, where is it going to be? Where's that morph ball going to be?
Yep, the early game was nothing but bad choices.
Yeah, it was just giving you health and defense. You got like the armor and all the health checks and the swords. So this seed wanted to give you all the defense, all the health, all the weapons, but progression items, no. Can't have those.
And no rubies either. So we had to take slow farms to get rubies for Zora money.
Slow grinds.
Yeah.
Everyone check the Houlihan room, I think.
You know, once I realized it was Zora, I should have went to the guy under the rock instead of the blind hut. So, a little mistake there in my ruby grind spot.
I think we saw Rakinus doing the same thing, just going through Blind's Hut over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ruby grind did make me feel better about the Aghanim play, though. Because it's more likely that everyone does Aghanim than spends 2 minutes farming rubies for Zora.
Yeah, I think Rakinus managed to avoid the Aghanim play, whereas I believe Asger and Solskjaer also followed yourself up the Aghanim's tower.
Was that the charge beam I just saw? Solski pickup? In the water? I think
I'll
I
be
just
honest,
saw
I never paid attention.
So yeah, the way I felt about the seed is the Aghanim play put me behind, but everything past speed I played really well, routing wise. Like I went straight to morph instead of going through Croc was the other option.
Yeah, I was really surprised you didn't check Crocomire and get the screw attack like everybody else did.
Yeah, so Screw Attack was hiding behind Crocomire's energy tank. Apart from that, there was nothing very much of interest down there. There was the single rupee. Oh, and it looks like Asger is actually about to check Shack 2, so he'll be getting us quick, and that'll be him in go mode.
We don't have any flutes either.
Yeah, we didn't see the flute this whole race. No idea where that could be.
Possibly an Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah, nobody did the bomb fairy run, did they?
Yeah, the last crystal they need for the 5-6 combo is Mire. And once they get Quake to gain access to it, they've got Go mode, so they don't need to check it. And there's Azter picking up his Quake. And it's now going to be heading very quickly towards Mire.
Man, that Shack Tool though, that's rough. So many racers put that off because they know that Shack Tool is such a time sink that they don't want to go there because it's going to waste a lot of time. Shack Tool never has anything. But
Yeah,
this
it's
time
just
he did.
one check. It's just one check out in the middle of nowhere. And it's like, yep. Unfortunately, when he has something, it will hurt very badly.
Yeah, I
Shack
set up.
Tool, it'll make you or break you.
I set up a save just in case there was nothing at Shack Tool. Then there was. So then I had to take the long way around to get back to the other sand pit. Get my bow.
Yep. Exactly. You knew it was going to be a time sink. From the moment you did it, you're like, yep, this is going to take time.
That and I didn't want to do plasma. I didn't want to check plasma.
Plasma didn't have much anyway.
Yeah, Plasma just having normal missiles, I think, Arachnus checked it.
Yeah.
Yep, I checked it. But I didn't want to.
With good reason.
Yeah, I think the gauntlet E-tank is the only item I intentionally skipped.
It was just 3 bombs on it.
Yeah, there wasn't much there.
I think with most of the progression being in Meridia or Norfair and having the suits in such weird locations as
Yeah, before anyone found a suit at all, we were like, is this going to be a Hell Dive and suitless Meridia run? Because it certainly started feeling that way.
Yeah. Hookshot was in such a weird spot too, leading to
Yeah.
gravity.
The digging spot.
Yeah. Shovel was in Rekshev, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it was that one check you can do without killing Phantom.
And poor Solsky checked Meridia before having the gravity suit, which was rough.
Well, he still found items, so I guess he was happy.
He had a lot of progression. He did well. I was surprised to see him forfeit because he did have almost everything he needed. I think it was Quake was the only thing that was ticking him off and saying, I can't do this. If he only knew where Quake was.
I think he knows where Quake is.
He might now.
If he hates the seat as much as it looks like, then yeah, he knows.
But yeah, Quake and the Hookshot are the only items that he didn't grab.
I don't know. I felt check tool was a reasonable check.
Yeah, it's reasonable. It's just so many players put it off that not many people want to check it.
Maybe because they're so close to go mode.
Yeah.
Skip it.
Yeah, you want to take down all your sort of item density locations first. And then they sort of go off and find out which one-off checks have I missed.
Well, every time that people do check Shack Tool, it's usually like missiles or something, and it just really puts a feeling in you like, why do I want to check this? Because it's just going to be missiles again. It just gives you that feeling.
Solski's cheating again, doing his hovering. Don't make me get Paddy in here, Solski. Solski has not handed in his shuffle to get his hook shot as well. It's definitely going to be trolling him for a...
Yeah, I thought he was about to when he was over at Magic Path.
Yeah,
Well, now
because
that
he's not that
forfeit,
long away
maybe.
from Rick shit. He's not long picked up the shovel, so you think that'd be sort of alright. I might as well go check that at the time.
Maybe after forfeiting, he doesn't care to go check. He could just be messing around now.
Yeah, he's just showing off for his hovering skills. He's proven us all wrong that Andy's not the only person who can hover.
Yep, hovering's hard. I can only get it now and again.
It's such a strange trick because it's very difficult to do, but it doesn't really gain you very much.
Yeah.
Well, it lets you skip items. That lets you beat the game with one fewer requirement.
Yeah, because you can just hover over that gap without killing Moldorm too.
Mhm.
Solski picking up their red goo from Skullwoods.
Okay. If you don't have any more questions for me, I think I'll take off now.
GG, Aussie. Great race. Well done. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
We have Astor just finishing up Vitreous. We have Arachnus and Turtle Rock. That's not where he wants to be, or not where he needs to be. Picking up his Ice Beam.
Yeah, Reckness got his Ice Beam. Which is silly because he finished Super Metroid already. Or was that Astor that already did that?
It was Astor who finished it up.
Oh, okay. I'm mixing my streams up. So yeah, that'll be useful for Reckness later when he goes to finish Super Metroid. He found the Ice Beam in the right order.
I believe he also has Charge and a Wave, so he does have the full beam combo.
Yeah, he's ready to complete Super Metroid.
He'll be able to do the stand-up glitch at the end. Be able to do baby skip if he likes. Unfortunately, just needs to find this Quake first so he can finish off Link to the Past and then take on Mother Brain or even just do as Aster did, just take out Mother Brain that you can't, knowing that you've got everything you need from Super Metroid.
Redness is the only one that didn't pick up the regular bombs, but it's not like he needs them. As they're opening Ganon's tower.
Well, Aster make the play for the tail rim.
We shall see. I do believe Solsky is heading down to fight Procamire. Oh, he already did. I don't know why he's going down there.
I think he didn't check those missile packs at the top. So he'll just be going there just to make sure it's not something obvious.
There wasn't anything there. If he's still poking around, does that mean he doesn't know about Shock Tool and the hook shot?
He may just be taking out things just to be like, right, it wasn't because I didn't check this on my way past her. Because there's nothing worse than skipping a check and then going back and checking it, finding out it's the item you were needing. Reckonus letting out some rage, finding out his green pendant is not worth as much as he thinks it is.
So, that Quake, man. Darn that Quake. I wonder how many more checks they're gonna make before realizing that Shock Tool has it all. Need to go get Quake. I think Reckness is headed in the right direction now. He just might make that Shock Tool play.
Reckonus is making that direction. He's heading that way.
Yep. Aussie picked up on it really quickly. He's like, I've got the charge, I've got the hook shot. I mean the hook beam. He knew exactly what to do with it. He's like, the game gave me this item, so they want me to use it. I know exactly where to use it, and he went straight there. Too bad the other players didn't get the same memo.
Aussie is just fantastic at routing randomizer suits. He just he knows
Uh-oh.
what items are somewhere.
You didn't get that power bomb off in time. Reset the room. Reckness is not happy with Shacktool. Hurry up, you slowpoke. I've got a feeling Reckness is gonna do some warranted damage to Shacktool for being a slow jerk.
I get gut feeling Solski's got his head in his hands going, why didn't I check this sooner? He's just stopped.
It's rough. It's so rough. Nope, Reckness did not kill Shacktool. I'm surprised.
He may kill him on the way out once he finds out this is Quake.
Yeah. He's shooting the Quake. Damn you, Quake. Damn you. Yep. There goes Shacktool. Up in smoke.
Meanwhile, Astor's just finishing up the gauntlet, moving on to the second land moles fight.
Reckness has everything he needs. He can finish this up now.
Needs to make a quick trip back down to Lower Norfair to get to Mire, as our flute is still nowhere to be seen.
Astor didn't get his
It
ice
was
beam
in-
and charge beam. Not that he needs it anymore since he finished Super Metroid.
Choosing to not check Swamp Palace
Yeah, he skipped on that.
and going into Mimic Cave way off the path. No, so far only Ozzy's the first one and the only one to finish. We did have two other runners much earlier in the race forfeit.
It really goes to show Ozzy had a really huge lead because of Shacktool, because 2 hours and 45 minutes, man. That's a huge difference. Here we go with another Ganon fight. Teach him who's boss, Astor.
Hagen unfortunately throwing blue balls in this fight. Getting a very nice triple though.
Wow, 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 wow. It's time to make some bacon.
Meanwhile, Arachnus just entering into Mire. It is the only dungeon he's left to do, and then he can go straight into GT. Esther not going to have as fast a fight as Ozzy because he doesn't have the butter sword.
I love those hook shot strats. Not taking damage while you're hook shotting. Yeah, I don't believe Reknus is finished Mafia yet. And Ganon is down. GG
Yep.
for Asder. Finishing up.
Both bosses dead for Asder, so GG's in chat for Asder.
Going through the door at 3 hours and 12 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yep, so Asder has finished with an official SRO time of 3 hours, 12 minutes, and 35 seconds. He is second to finish in our race.
Such a good race. The Triforce message. I'm sorry. Sorry for all that progression that we didn't give you at the beginning.
I
Yeah,
believe
but
Asder's joined us. How are you, Asder? GG.
and that seed sucked.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I was
No
going through your
progression
mind
at
when
all.
you went Meyer and seen Quake.
Sorry, what was that?
What was going through your mind?
I was going through your mind and seeing Quake on Meyer.
Pretty much. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It was definitely interesting.
Yeah, like I felt like I was like almost certainly in go mode when I saw Samara, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta kill GT, which is annoying, but after that, just breeze through the rest of the game, and I get to Meyer, and I'm just like, okay, well, as long as it's not Quake, and then it's Quake, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, it's Quake.
Also, Turtle Rock was massive bait this seed.
Yeah. I always feel like something really good's gonna be in Turtle Rock. And it usually plays out.
It was Green Pendant, and we had Ice Rod really early.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw Aussie finish, though, I knew exactly where Quake was, so I just went to it. He's beaten me a lot of times by checking Shack Tool in situations where I wouldn't. So it's like that's like there's no way it's TR. I did almost everything else. There's no way it's TR with the finish time and the start of the seed like that.
Aussie said the moment when he picked up the grapple beam that to him said, okay, what are you gonna use the grapple beam for? Go check Shack Tool. And that's like the first thing he did. He went straight to Shack Tool. Based on picking up the grapple beam.
Oh my god. Let's see. I think I had grapple well before morph because of how I routed. I don't remember where it was.
Grapple was on the big chest in Beastron.
Okay.
And then Morph Ball being on those missiles above Charge Beam. One of the last places it could have been.
Oh, hey, guess what? I got baited into Aga.
Yeah.
You are not the only one.
Yeah, we were saying earlier that it feels like the seed is pushing us to Aga.
It seemed like almost certain. I was like, okay, well, I got Moon Pearl out of logic, but because there were no bombs early in the seed, I was like, well, flippers have to be in CAC. I left 4 checks there, and I'm not walking back there right now.
There wasn't much of anything in the beginning. The beginning
No, it
was
was
just
terrible.
heart pieces, heart containers, and mail and swords. That was it. No progression at all.
Also, I hope people enjoyed the tile room big key read. I almost
Yeah.
never get to do that because it almost never comes up.
It was impressive. We were all sad that nobody found Charge Beam for the longest time.
Did anyone find it or no?
Yeah, it was in the west wing of Swamp Palace.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
That was the one item that was left in there. I think I left one item in there.
Aussie didn't find the Ice Beam or the Charge Beam or the Screw Attack. And he
I
still
didn't
managed.
find ice.
Yeah, Ice Beam was in Mimic Cave, so if you had been baited into Turtle Rock, you would have got it.
Yeah, Mimic Cave.
Yeah, Sosuke and Rakanis made the play into Turtle Rock.
I love these randomizer races. You never know what's gonna happen. It's always a surprise. Even after watching like 40 races, it still manages to throw you a loop.
I was so sure that Croc was the play. I saw Screw Attack there, and I was just like, oh, I hope that's needed for Morph and not Speed. But that wasn't the case. I mean, Morph and Big Pink wasn't too bad, but because I wanted to prioritize Screw Attack when I found it at Croc, it made me last location Morph. I don't think there's anything else I could have done.
It was really speed boots that help opened up a lot of things.
Oh, and I had to farm for that. That was stupid.
Yeah, there was almost no money at the start of the seed.
Oh, also, it was behind Glove at Agina and not Flippers, which was also stupid.
Yeah. Some race. Reckness is taking on Mothra now.
I actually felt pretty good when I beelined to Quake right after Solsky quit. I'm not sure how much longer it would have taken him to find it though, but like I definitely share that sentiment of like, wow, at 245, okay, I just give up. I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to keep looking. This is stupid. But I don't ever quit these races. I only forfeit one, and that was because I missed Titan's Mitt at the back of Brinstar Reserve because I forgot to check it again after we found Morph. But I've never forfeit these other than that.
I think I would only forfeit if I was the only one still racing. If I wasn't racing against anybody else, that was when I would just call it quits.
Yeah, it's probably fair.
Because at least you're still competing against someone.
Oh, well, thanks for the commentary. That was a fun race for most of it, I think.
I was so nervous. It's my first time commentating, but Once you just get into it, you loosen up and it feels good. And I love watching these races. Good times. GG and great job on your race.
GG.
Reckness is heading for Regana's tower.
Now, does Ragnus make the play for Terror Room? Does he risk it?
We'll see what he does here. Well, on the plus side, it doesn't seem like we have a 4-hour race today.
It's the thing about these hard mode seeds. When you get a hard one, it can take a long time.
You never know which item's gonna stump you up.
When you need to do Suitless Meridian to Lava Diving Norfair and all sorts of weird finicky stuff to find all your requirement items. That is the joy of Randomizer, though. Things can be anywhere.
It's the tricky moves that really get me. The really hard glitches and wall clips and such. As far as skill is concerned, this one didn't seem too tricky.
Yeah, it's the strange thing about these hard mode seeds is most of them are the same as normal mode seeds. It's just you do occasionally get these rare circumstances where you need to do.
I've watched
you need
some
to do your
normal
Suitless
seeds
Meridian.
that feel like hard mode seeds. As they say, normal doesn't necessarily mean easy.
Yeah, particularly anything that shoves you into the dark road very quickly and Link to the Past is considered quite hard because anything in Shadow World just in the dark road just does so much damage.
Decimates you in one hit.
I think everything in the dark road does at least 2 hearts of damage on Green Mill. And particularly, I've seen blind on low hearts before. And if you know the script for blind, it's quite an easy fight, but it can still be a bit panicky.
Reckness is making quick work of this tower.
Yep, completed left side, gonna make their play into the right side. Hopefully stop by Tile Room. In the meantime, we do have a third place finish. PR57 has finished third with an official SRL time of 3 hours 26 and 14 seconds.
GG. Get out of the way, you bunch of zombies.
Yeah, Gyptos can be truly annoying.
I like to call them zombies, but they look more like mummies.
I think Rackinus has decided to do 100% map completion instead. I think he's realised what he's done.
I like the struggle animations. The struggle is real.
It's like he knew it was Taylor and we just didn't want to accept it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just cruel game.
Out of magic.
He has magic. I can see the green bar.
And you have the big key.
Yep, pulling out some frustration on that chest.
Yeah. That was pretty harsh. Don't die. Maybe he'll make a fairy.
I knew we would find a use for the all the blue goo we found.
I'm assuming he's gonna have the opportunity to make a fairy at some point.
Yeah, so there's a safety room just
He's
before
got the
next
powder.
staircase. Yeah, or so you can bunk off those blocks to get to the cracked wall at the bottom of the screen there, or you can use the powder on the anti-fairies sort of towards the end.
Well, there's some more magic, but he doesn't want it.
Yeah, there's another magic refill later on as well. Once you get past the Helmosaur rooms, just before Moldarm 2.
There's too many details like that that my brain doesn't remember, and I would pick up every little thing because I don't quite remember where all the drops are. Well, that's why they're racing and I'm not.
Oh, just missing that one cycle on land molars. So the thing about these two games is I've grown up with these games. Is I played these games non-stop. I used to finish running Link to the Past and then just delete my save and rerun it again. It's like I know
Yeah.
where all the locations are off the back of my hand because of that. And never did I
Last
think
year,
that information would be useful to me.
last year when I discovered that someone named Total took my two favorite Super Nintendo games and made a combo randomizer out of them, I was so happy and surprised. That was like the best news ever. Took my two favorite games and made them together. Because they don't share the same RAM, apparently. So it all just works out.
Yeah, so I don't know which way around it is, but one of them uses the left side and one of them uses the right side, and there's minimal to no overlap. I believe there's a little bit of overlap, which they've corrected for, but it's fantastic about how two great games have been combined like this.
Yeah. A big thank you to Total and the other developers that helped make this happen.
I don't think Total and the dev team get enough recognition for what they've managed to do with these games. And even now, working on the multi-world and putting so much effort into that.
It's amazing. I love how little passion projects bear so much fruit, you know? Like, originally there wasn't even gonna be a Zelda game on the Game Boy, but off of work hours, the developers would get together and mess around with coding and stuff, and it turned into Zelda Link's Awakening. And we got a Zelda game on the Game Boy from a passion project that turned into something official.
Yeah, now it's grown that popular, it's actually getting remastered. Arachnus now heading into his Ganon fight.
Time for some bacon. I just love how a small passion project can turn into a full-fledged game like this. It's wonderful to see. I feel like the best video games are made out of love and passion because they put all their heart into it. They take the time to make something great that they care about. It really shows in their work.
Just missing out on that torch glitch there. Spammed a little bit too early.
Just a bit short.
Oh, don't fall.
And there we go. Is
Yeah,
that
get your single
1G
G's in
for
chat
Reckon?
for Ganon.
Or did he finish Super Metroid already?
No, he's not finished Super Metroid, so quick detour into
1G.
Turian.
1G for Reckness. Now to Super Metroid. Time for the final countdown. He's got everything he needs. He's got all the beams. He's ready for this fight. He's even more prepared than Aussie and Asdor were. Because he has charged being an ice beam.
He's also only missing one energy tank.
Yeah. This was definitely a very healthy seed. Either that or you could say Reckness is a completionist, picking up everything. A man after my own heart. The completionist. He's not even going for the baby skip. Oh, he is. I don't know about this. You gonna get it? Oh, I didn't get it.
Snapped at the end.
That's too bad. Close but no cigar. I want to give a big thank you to our tracker, Death by Snoo, doing all the tracking for this race. It's hard to keep track of 4 different screens. And he gets the clip. Quick skip.
using the rings as little stepping stones. Yeah, so while Arachnus is finishing up, do remember to give all our runners a follow. Show them your love and support, because it's not easy to come up here and restream and race and put yourself under the spotlight.
Each of them put on a good show. Quickly draining that health. He's like, maybe I came to this fight with too many energy bars. Oh dear, it looks like he glitched Samus's legs. They were invisible for a moment.
Yeah, so there's 2 points during this cutscene where the game tries to force Samus into that downward state.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're in the air, that can't happen. So you do tend to have some weird graphics glitches.
It looks like it brought her to her knees anyway.
That was worryingly close for
I
that
know, I
last
was so
shot.
worried that he was gonna glitch his game like that. I know that he was really close to crashing it.
That would have been an extra 5 minutes onto his run.
When it switches between the charge beam and the plasma blaster. The super beam. Hyper beam. Don't know why my brain couldn't think of the word hyper beam. Super beam is close enough.
If anyone's curious to know what happens, your game will drop to about 1 frame per second and takes about 5 minutes to sort of recover, at which point you're pretty much faster resetting and doing the thing again.
Yeah.
I've never seen it happen, but
Yeah, I've never seen
I've
it happen
heard-
either. I've heard horror stories. It's not a myth. It's something that happens. It's just most racers know that it happens, so they don't actually do it.
It's like the strange glitch that despawns all of Ganon's tower if you go up the stairs as the lights in the previous rooms go out.
I haven't
I've never
seen
seen
that
it
one.
happen, but I've heard of horror stories. And it looks like we might have someone saving the animals.
Yep, gonna go save those animals. What has he got to lose? This isn't a competitive race anymore. It's fine to save the animals. It's a matter of principle at this point.
And with that, Rakinus has finished with an official SLRO time of 3 hours, 46 minutes, and 46 seconds.
Get your GGs in chat for Reckness. Well done, Reckness.
Yeah, Blackman Solsky had some issues trying to get the hook shot from the dig spot with the shovel, and couldn't find Quake either, which was hiding behind Shacktool.
He never went to go check Shack Tool. It's the biggest facepalm moment. The one spot that you think isn't gonna turn up anything happens to be the spot that needed to be checked. It's definitely rough. Yep, he had everything he needed. He just didn't go check Shack Tool. Well, that race was really something. It's always a surprise. You never know what you're gonna get. Well done to each of our racers.
Yep, we had vanilla. Well, we never had anything vanilla, I don't think. We had Morph Ball above our charge beam, away deep in Pink Brinster, not someplace you really want to go. And then we had a lot of our progression locked behind, or locked in, Norfair or Meridia, between either our hook shot or a hammer locking our suits. And it's one of these things, is just maybe a hard mode race, but sometimes you don't have to do those hard mode tricks.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of fun. I had a great time.
I did too. It was a lot of fun. So I think with that, we are going to call it.
Is that Reckness that just hopped in?
Greetings.
Hey, GG, man.
GG.
It was a good race.
Yeah, I basically 100k with the games.
Yeah. You're going for that completion bonus.
Yeah, all I need to do is check pedestal, and that would have completed it.
There wasn't much there.
What did you think of Quake on your on Shacktail?
Yeah, I was gonna say, where was Shovel?
The shovel
It
was in the wreck ship.
the wreck ship.
It was in wreck ship. Okay, so if I had went wreck ship first before going down, I would have had Shovel. Then that would have made me go into Swamp Palace and get hook shot. Then I would have checked Shack Tool when I was in Meridia. That hooped me bad.
It was getting the grapple beam for Aussie that told him, okay, I got grapple beam. I need to go use that on Shack Tool because this is like one of the ways to get up there.
Yeah, and I guess ice was in a weird spot, like Total Rock, so it couldn't even done the ice clip. But yeah, if I had grapple when I was in Meridia, I would have checked for it. But then I figured, what are the chances that it's going to be Shack Tool?
I think Ice Beam was in Mimic Cave.
Mimic Cave, yeah.
Yeah, Tower Rock was a huge bait this seed.
Yeah,
being a green pendant as well.
Yeah. Big letdown.
it was unfortunate.
Got to try out a couple hard mode strats. I don't know if X-ray room is in hard logic, or if you need space jump or grapple to get there.
I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure, not to be honest.
Well, I got to try that room. That was scary as hell coming out of it.
Each of you put on a good show. It was a really interesting race because in the early game, none of you got anything. There was no progression. For the longest time, it was all heart pieces and art containers and
Yeah,
the
Kakariko
mail.
Village. Holy crap, that was
Yeah,
nothing there.
just a bunch of garbage. And they didn't even give you very many power bombs to check Super Metroid when you did have the Morph Ball.
Yeah, I think it was like 5 in the beginning.
Yeah, there just wasn't much. It wasn't given much at all. Just health.
Glad
You did manage to
I,
dodge the Yaga bit at the start as well.
yeah. I'm glad I got that, what was it, Power Glove, and then just went immediately to, I'm blanking on it. Not Turtle Rock, but like Death Mountain, and did those clear, and then went to Super Metroid. Where was Morph Ball again? I actually kind of forget.
Brimstar.
It was
Brimstar?
in missiles
Okay.
above Charge Beam.
Yeah. And where was Speed Booster?
King Zora.
Okay. That was the item that kind of opened it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to go farming for rupees because there was no rupees at the start of this.
Yeah, yeah. I did
Speed
the
Booster opened up a
whole
lot.
Houlihan glitch and then just kind of farmed the rest and went there.
Yeah. I believe everybody did the Houlihan glitch because it's the only way to farm.
Yeah. There wasn't even much you could. Well, I don't know actually. I don't know if I picked that up later or earlier. I think I did a bunch of checks before I went to Zora's.
It was definitely the last check for most of the runners.
Yeah.
If
Nobody
I
wants to
have-
go there.
Yeah, if I have the rupees, I don't mind going there early. But if I don't have them, I'm just gonna put it off.
Yeah. I feel like that's the mentality for a lot of racers. Because it never does feel like it's going to pay off. So many times, all you get is like missiles.
Yeah, or a single arrow.
Yeah. It's always that one time that he's actually got something incredibly useful.
Yeah. Yeah, Zora and Shaq Tool, the seed.
Yep. You just never know how it's going to play out. In a sense, Aussie got incredibly lucky going there so early.
Yeah, I think I know his routing if to get that time. If I had went to wreck ship first, I think I wouldn't have been as like fast, but I think it would have led me down the not doing 100% of the game route.
Yeah. Well, that's all I can think of. Do you got anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's about it.
It was an interesting race. GG, man.
GG.
Well done on the completion bonus.
It's always good to have that. Gotta save the
Yeah.
items.
Feels good to pick up all the items.
I should just start practicing 100% routes.
Yeah. Make the most time efficient route you can think of and just always go that route.
Yeah.
That's definitely a play.
It's the joys of Randomizer, being able to write things on the fly.
Yeah. Just whatever items you get, hope for the best.
I'm gonna grab something to eat, and was I the last? I don't know who was restream today. Is the restream still going on?
You were the last on the restream.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't. I can go tune in the SRL channel and see if they're streaming it on there.
Yeah. Well, take care, man. Great race. Take it easy.
Thanks for commentating. Thanks to the tracker, as always.
Yes, thank you, Death by Snoo Snoo.
Alright, see you guys.
Take care, man. Well, that's it for another great race.
Yep, don't forget to follow our runners, show them support. Follow our tracker as well, show him some support. It's very difficult to track 4 racers at the
All
same
of
time,
them.
just being your own himself.
And
And
it was
shout out to my
great.
co-commentators at work.
Yeah, it was great meeting you, Thoris, and it was great commentating with you.
Yep, it was definitely fun. First
Had
time
a
I
great
did like the
time.
main commentary type thing, so
Yeah, it's my
experience
first time
for both of us.
commentating, so great first time.
Also, don't forget to follow the rest of the Speed Gaming Network channels, Speed Gaming 1 through 6. There are also Speed Gaming in different languages for those who have different language. And also, there's a race tomorrow, which I believe is just our normal mode race at 9 o'clock Eastern. So be sure to tune in then if you like some more SMZ3 Randomizer.
Good stuff.
But with that, I will see you next mission.
Take care, everyone.